Day one, waking up in Germany after losing our home in LA. Me and my kids moved out of place, put our stuff in storage, or most of it in the trash, but some of it in the storage, and we don't have a home, y'all.
I have an apartment in Dallas. I said, Amina, just go stay in Dallas. Live
Right.
there. What am I gonna do in Dallas? Live rent free? I had no idea that she was gonna leave the world thinking that she was homeless. I bought a round trip ticket. They come back on the 23rd of August. She knows I would never. That could never be.
Yeah.
It makes me look crazy.
Yeah. You
And
take
my
them.
other kids, I send her everything. I have my other
Yeah.
kids' mothers going, yo, you sending her thousands. What about us?
Drama, baby mama drama.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So if you guys are unaware of what's going on in the new saga of, Peter Gunz and his baby mamas, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up to speed. So if you guys are unaware, rapper Peter Gunz,
blessed with flows to keep you hooked like dope. Friends call me Gunz, sons call me Trifle. It's got crazy game.
was actually on a show called Love and Hip Hop New York. And during that show, it showcased his tumultuous relationship he had with his kid's mother, Tara, as well as his relationship with singer Amina Buddafly.
And I used to be married to the one and only Peter Gunz sitting right here. I'm Tara Wallace, and I used to date Peter. We were on Love and Hip Hop.
So ever since then, people have already been all up in their business of the tumultuous relationship. Him going back and forth, like I said, between the mother of his children and Amina. The fact that he married Amina, even though he had more kids with Tara. And even at one point, the two of, Peter Gunz's women were actually pregnant at the exact same time.
How did it feel knowing that Tara is going to be the last person to have one of Peter's children?
She's not the last person that has his baby.
What does that mean?
I'm pregnant.
So there's always been some kind of foolishness going on. Well, most recently, Amina Buddafly posted on her social media that she is actually now homeless, and it caused so much conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and press play, then pause play, and give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on this entire situation.
Day one, waking up in Germany after losing our home in LA. Me and my kids moved out of place, put our stuff in storage, or most of it in the trash, but some of it in the storage, and we don't have a home, y'all. But guess what? Thank God for family, because we're in Germany with my family, and we're going to be here till I figure it out, because I will, as I always do. But the last couple of years have been so rough. Working my butt off, not making enough money, end up losing my place. And now we're staying with family until I know what I can figure out what's next.
So this is a problem that a lot of people had, right? Again, I'm letting you guys know what's going on. Amina Buddafly is a singer. She has been a singer, right? She was on the platform Love and Hip Hop. Now, I don't know the type of checks that she was cashing when she was working on that platform, Love and Hip Hop. But they had a very spicy season, right? I already detailed to you all of the stuff that was going on back and forth between Peter, her, and Tara. Now, Peter Gunz actually ended up marrying Tara, and it wasn't really a slight to his children's mother. It's that he was working with Amina as an artist, and she is from Germany originally, and that was the way that she could, I guess, stay there. I don't know. That was the conversation that's been surrounded by it, right? Now, people have an issue with the fact that Amina has come onto TikTok and stated that her and her kids are homeless. Number one being the reason that she's actually staying with family. Okay? So in the era that we're in right now, in inflation being high and people having real financial difficulties, the fact that you are on social media claiming to be homeless when there are actual people out there who do not have anywhere to go. Okay? They don't have a family to call. They don't have shelter, warmth, blankets, pillows, running water, heat, air conditioning. Like the fact that you even were able to purchase a plane ticket to get you and your children from LA to Germany in itself. Like, people are like, how dare you try to get a certain level of sympathy from people when, again, you are clearly not in a dire state like other people are. That's number one. The next issue is that a lot of people have a problem with the fact that sometimes these people go onto reality television and they act as though they cannot ever get into a space to get another job or find another form of income if they are in spaces that are not necessarily panning out for them in a certain way. So this is all the backlash that she receives, but she kept going in the conversation.
And don't ask me what that is, because everybody's like, so what's the plan? I have no idea. I needed to freaking clear my head so I can come up with a plan. And all I know is we're happy, we're healthy, we're powerful, we're capable, and there's so much opportunity out there. And sometimes losing something is only taking you to the next place that you're meant to be. So see what life has got in store for us. No, but seriously, I threw my whole life in the trash. 80% of what we own, and I didn't own anything valuable anyway to begin with, but it feels very good to not have much, but have what's important, which is love. I've never been materialistic anyway, and I only want what's valuable to me. Stay tuned for what's next.
Now, again, it is a privilege to be able to start over, to take all your stuff and throw it away and move to a whole different country and know that you have support there, compassion there, love there, and you are going to essentially be taken care of. Like, that is a privilege. So again, that's what a lot of people had an issue with her using the term homeless, okay? Now, also, Peter Gunz, who is the father of those children, and I don't know if it's her current husband, her ex-husband, I'm not really sure of the logistics with that current situation right now, but he was also getting a lot of backlash from people on social media who were like, Peter, like, how do you have the mother of your children homeless? Like, what's going on? What's the problem? And so he got very upset about the narrative that was being painted, and he then decided to speak up about the truth of the situation.
It's more hurt, and I try not to put anything else out in the world that would hurt my kids, because already I did Love and Hip Hop. I got a lot of explaining to do from the bull I did on the show.
Yeah.
So I try not to put nothing out in the world, and I do love Amina. Amina has a good heart. She means well. I'm another shot. Listen, I literally got off the phone with Amina yesterday. I'm handling some stuff for a car in L.A., and she asked me, can I get tickets for a jazz show for her and her family to take her moms to. There was no discussion of anything negative like that. I flew to L.A. last week.
And you moved her out. You were helping her move.
This is the plan. The plan was she's going to move to Germany for a little bit with her sister to give herself a break. I didn't really necessarily like the idea. So she wants to move her instruments and her vanity set into storage because the furniture is fucked up. I mean, the furniture, a dog and pissed all over everything, bed, everything. It's nasty. So throw that in the trash. We'll start over when you get back.
So he's saying, like, okay, she told him that she wanted to take a break, right? Again, a privilege. Take a break, have somebody else figure that stuff out, not have to worry about overhead. And, he helped her. He assisted her with that situation when she decided to make that decision, even though he did not agree with it. He said, okay, fine. He helped her, all that. So based off of his space that he was in, he did not expect her to then go on social media and cry homeless when this was a decision that she made to just give herself a break, prop herself in a certain space. Like, he wasn't expecting this negative narrative to be turned against him because he's like, this was all your idea. Like, it's not like you were in some dire situation and you couldn't figure it out. You decided to make this decision and you decided that you wanted to go to Germany.
Get back. So her friend has an Airbnb. So I'll pay rent up in the Airbnb for a couple months until you get on your feet and just stay there.
Yeah.
Boom. That was the plan when she come back. I wanted her to do that. I didn't want her to leave. I really would rather have done that because 2 reasons. One is that's like a vacation. You get to go sit down for 2 months and chill and then come back and I still got the same. So let's just pay this down and stay. The other reason is Trump may not let you back in this motherfucker, Amina. You know, and you and I know why. So now I will have to fly in to LAX in the event that they don't let you in to get my kids, because I'm not gonna, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Right.
So Amina says to me, Peter, if they don't let me back in, it's just meant for me to stay in Germany.
So he's saying, right? He's like, this woman made the decision that she just gonna, she couldn't pay her rent anymore. And, she finally reached out to him and was like, hey, I'm getting evicted, gotta move out, whatever. And he was like, listen, your friend has an Airbnb. How about you don't go take a vacation? How about you deal with your responsibilities? Okay, so you stay here, you stay in your friend's Airbnb. I'll pay up the bills until you get on your feet, and then we work it out and we figure it out. She was steadfast on the fact that no, she's going home to Germany. She don't care about none of that. That's where she's gonna go. That's where she's gonna be. And he's like, well, based off of your immigration status, this might not be the best decision. She's like, oh, well. Basically, at this point, she's literally winging it. Like, she's literally winging it. And, while he's getting this narrative painted against him that he's not there, he's not supporting her, he's like, y'all don't know all the stuff I've been willing to do on her behalf. Because she didn't talk about that. All she did was say that she's homeless and never added any context to the conversation.
I literally had to sign for my kids to go. I wasn't comfortable with it. Not at this date and time with what's going on with ICE and all this. Hence the reason why we married. Anyway, if I'm being honest with you on some brother, last thing I would ever do is lie to you. I would never lie or cap.
You never lie. You never lie to me.
I love my kids, bro. My kids can never be homeless.
Real.
I have an apartment in Dallas. I said, Amina, just go stay in Dallas. Live there. What am I going to do in Dallas? Live rent free? Swim? Go at amenities, chill for a little bit, give me a breather because I can't pay rent every multiple places. Get a place up in Dallas. I send Amina thousands every month. Whatever she asks, she will get on here and tell you the truth. It's just that she wasn't able to hold her side of it up.
This is so unfair. Okay? This is so unfair because he has right now, based off of, she posted that video about her being homeless. He immediately got, that deadbeat dad narrative on his name. Like, immediately they were like, he's a deadbeat. He don't take care of his kids. He don't take care of his responsibility. What kind of man would have his, the mother of his children out here homeless? Like, what kind of man is this? And he's like, I literally have an apartment in Dallas that I am not living in. And I told her to live there rent free. I told her to live there. She didn't want to do it. I literally give her thousands of dollars per month so that she can be good. And he's like, she still was unable to have her percentage of the income to support the children and the life. So what more is he supposed to do? And it's unfair that women can just get on the internet and say certain things and just leave it out there. And if he did not clarify, this part of the conversation, everybody would just be running with, he's a horrible guy, horrible dad, horrible father, don't care about his kids. Like, what kind of man would do that? Like, and to hear his side of the story, there's so much context that she left out of the conversation. Unfairly.
She felt like she, like, damn, this is just, I'm stressed. I need to go. So I let her go. But I had no idea that she was going to leave the world thinking that she was homeless. I bought a round trip ticket. They come back on the 23rd of August. I got the Airbnb in LA. I was going to pay that up for a couple of months. Why tell the world? And it's just like,
the fact that he bought the ticket alone is too much. Like the fact that she got there from her children's father buying the plane ticket and did not decide to add that context in the video. The fact that it's a round trip ticket and they're basically going on summer vacation and she did not add that context to the conversation when she made this I'm homeless video is absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
I feel so up. I feel a little betrayed in a way because she knows I would never. That could never be.
Yeah.
It makes me look crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's up.
saying on there, oh, I'm thank God for my family in Germany. I'm the only one that was giving her money.
Yeah.
I just do it. I don't want to look bitter because I don't look at her like that. I love Amina.
Yeah.
This is how much understanding I am of Amina. It hit me one day and said, Gunz, you sending money, she got to do something. She just playing piano, doing handstands. I said, mind your business. She's an artist, and I understand being an artist and going from that to trying to get a 9 to 5, regular 9 to 5, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this thirst for attention and wanting to be on the blog is like a drug.
This is a man who thinks logically. Now, regardless of whatever he had, whatever tumultuous situation he had going on, this is a logical thinking person. Okay? And just like how she was getting a lot of heat, a lot of backlash for her talking about how she's homeless and, you know, she wasn't able to make ends meet and she got evicted because she couldn't pay her bills. He's like, listen, at some point, you know, I understand that you're an artist or whatever the case is, but like you have children. Okay, and you are not in a position where it's not like, you know, the two of them are living together and she has the ability to do these things because, you know, there's one person, you know, balancing it out the situation. He's like, you're on your own. And I'm giving you as much of the finances I can give you, but at the same time, you know, he's not going to drain himself so that she can be in a certain position. He's like, you know, you bring something to the conversation where you can, you know, at least help support your own self. She said no. He bought her the plane ticket even though he did not want her to go. He offered her to live in Dallas in his apartment that he already has, and she didn't want to go. So it's like, at what point can we start holding you accountable for you being in the position that you're in? At what point will women stop trying to blame, you know, the man in the position, you know, even for basic conversations about child support? Women will be like, oh, this man don't take care of his kids and now the kids are suffering. It's like, but what are you also doing as a parent? Like, you also have a responsibility to also financially be able to take care of your kids too.
Because how do you say, if Amina got up there and told 100% like it was, Peter gave me every month. It just wasn't enough. The
Right.
3,000 a month wasn't enough. I couldn't cover my side. Peter looked out. It was like, thank God for my family in Germany.
Right.
We are homeless. How?
Yeah. Right.
So what I would have did was I wouldn't have signed for my kids to go. You would have had to stay here and be homeless and then go and tell the world we living in the shelter, I'm homeless. I would never. It brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Me up.
Yeah.
But never let my kids be homeless.
Yeah.
This man have to come on the internet, clear his name, clear his reputation, and literally be brought to tears for people to understand what's really going on after she decided, as he called it, a clout chasing video talking about she homeless and you know, thank God for her family, as if he was not behind the scenes signing the paper so the kids can go, buying the literal plane ticket for her, and making accommodations for her even when she gets back. This is crazy. And, you know, imagine if he didn't decide to clear his name. Imagine how much, you know, more slander he would have gotten. And this is something a lot of men do. A lot of men sit in the space of being the bad guy, the wrong parent, just because they choose not to speak up on their side or speak ill of the mother of their children. But if only people knew. I said it before frequently. There's so many men who have that, you know, deadbeat dad badge wrongfully. Only because they are not, you know, like how these women are and don't get on social media and need other people's approval and tell their side of the story. Thank God he's able to do that. And he decided to do that.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
You take care of your kids. Let me tell you something.
More
You take
my
them.
other kids. I send her everything. I have my other kids' mothers going, yo, you sending her thousands. What about us?
Yeah.
What about me? What about these?
Yeah.
I would never.
I know.
Let my kid. I'm a lot of things. I'm a lying, cheating, old, grimy Bronx. But I'm not a mother deadbeat.
No, you're not. You take care of your kids all the time. You always taking them out.
Or take
You always
for
going to
child
school,
support.
picking them up
I've
from
never been
school.
on it.
I've,
I never
I've
been on it.
we've
Take
been,
me on it.
yeah,
Child support.
yeah,
Never been on child support.
right.
And it's not a testament of me doing so much, it's a testament of my character.
And again, I want to say, you see, there's a deadbeat dad narrative that can absolutely be talked about. There's also a deadbeat mom narrative that's never talked about. Okay, that's also never part of the conversation. But that title should be, left to men who want nothing to do with their children, who do not care where their children sleep, who don't know where their children are, who couldn't care less about, what's going on, who have no responsibility, don't even know their birthdays, could barely tell you what their middle name is. Like, we're not ever there. And never ever wanted to be there and never ever cared. We're selfish. Like, we can have that conversation. But a lot of these women play on the emotions of other women to fit in to this little bubble, to get sympathy and empathy from women on social media. And they sing to the tune of the single mother, the bitter baby mamas, the bitter women. And that is not their reality. It's not. And it's unfair and it's unjust. And so after he had that video that he posted and he decided to clear the air and clear his name, you can see that she responded to the comments where somebody was, again, slandering him, talking bad about him. And the person said, I guess Peter wasn't paying his part. Now, because he made that video, now she decides to clarify the situation.
So I just want to clear something up, because this is the number one comment I've been getting since yesterday, since I announced that I moved to Germany for a moment to figure out where we're going to live, because we don't have our home anymore. Everyone's like, where Peter at? So yes, we all know he hasn't always been the best. But I have to point out that he's been there for us. He's been holding us down in the past, I want to say, almost 2 years.
How dare you? How dare you? I don't know how Peter feels about this. I don't know if he's going to accept this video, but how dare you? Girl, you came on the internet talking about you homeless and thank God for your family, because you've been having to figure it out and thug it out by yourself. And, it just, you couldn't do it. And you lost your apartment, all these things. And now you're going to tell us that for the past 2 years, he's been more than doing enough in covering your bills for you? After you already allowed people to slander his name? Be so for real right now.
Year and a half is when I started struggling crazy, not able to cover my overhead, my bills, my rent. And he stepped up and he was there and he paid our rent a lot of the time. So, oops, my light went out. I just hate seeing the bashing him right now, because this wasn't my intention to put up something to bash him at all. He has nothing to do with this. I mean, he does in a way. He's my kid's father, but at the same time, he's not responsible for me. I'm my own grown adult.
Why didn't you say that in the beginning? Why did you purposely omit that he's the person who bought the plane tickets for you and your kids? Why did you purposely omit that information? You was telling everything else. You was telling that you got evicted. You was telling you about your stuff in storage, all the same stuff he was saying. Why did you purposely omit that he was the one that bought the plane ticket?
And I'm very thankful for him for holding us down. I would have been in this situation a year ago had it not been for him being there and literally holding us down and paying the rent. So shout out to Peter. One thing about this whole situation, I don't want to get misconstrued. I'm so good with who I am, who I've become, how hard I work. Everything in my life is great. I take care of myself. I'm mentally and physically in the best shape I've ever been. I just don't got no money. And it's only money, you know? I always say to myself, it could be worse. It could be so much worse.
No, it could be so much worse, right? And that's great that you're in this state that you're in. That's completely fine. But to throw around the word homeless when you are literally staying with your family is not right. The fact that you, again, purposely omitted the fact that you have so much support. You have so much support. Homeless people don't have no support. They don't have somebody to call to buy a plane ticket to get them to a situation. They don't have somewhere else to even go. They don't have anyone. They have nothing. That's true homelessness. Is not being able to have, you don't know what you're going to do. There's no one to call. There's no assistance. There's no help. There's nothing. Nothing and no one. Give thanks. That's not your situation. But to say that on social media, it's absurd.
It's only money. Money comes and goes. I ain't got it right now. And I ain't had it in the past couple of years, but I believe in myself. It doesn't take away any of my greatness. And so there's so much that I can do and will do. So see ya soon. And no, he did not make me post this. I haven't even spoken to him at all. But he's in this now, thanks to y'all. So this is the truth.
Thanks to who? Hold on, girl. Thanks to who he's in this now? Because none of us wouldn't be in it if it wasn't for you posting that video. So thanks to who's in it? And I feel like she felt indebted. Like, you know, there was a piece on her that was like, man, that's really messed up. Because she knows if she did not post that clarification video, what will she do when she comes back? Because he bought a return ticket, and on the other side of her return is assistance from her. Or assistance from him for her. So what would she do if she didn't post this clarification video? And again, how dare you? What are you doing? I have to say it again. There's so many men who are wrongfully labeled deadbeat dad who are doing more than enough behind the scenes that those women would never talk about. Only to wear this badge of honor of being a single mother that takes care of it all, that gets no help, that has no assistance, and is able to figure it all out. Like, there's so many women who are lying behind that badge of honor of being a single mom. Ain't never been a single mom a day in their life. Like, that's not the reality. They have an active participant of a father who is there, who is doing, like I said, more than they even should have to do. I'm just being real. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation and conversation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Rivah TV.